I am 100% not responsible, and I would never remotely hurt that woman. Never. I love that woman. I always will. She's seeing some other guy. Fine. Go be with another guy. I'm not hurting anybody.
This 47-year-old wolf in sheep's clothing, Shadwick King, has just gone from loving husband to cold-blooded murder. Just hours before this interrogation, his wife's lifeless body was discovered on railroad tracks.
Why didn't you call when she didn't return home?
The wife went jogging and she's been gone for 2 hours.
But Shadwick has no idea that investigators already found something that doesn't add up.
How'd you get a lip here?
Dry lip?
No, it's not a dry lip. It's a fat lip.
No, it's not.
Now, Shadwick will do whatever it takes to look like the last person anyone would suspect. And with his morning alibis pre-packaged into neat little receipts, he will leave detectives grasping at straws.
So you put your career on hold so she could go do her thing and you could be kind of Mr. Mom?
She definitely wanted to go to officer school, and I backed her. I told her, you should. I think it's a great idea.
She's emotionally moved on. Have you moved on?
Absolutely not. I love her.
On the morning of July 6, 2014, the body of 32-year-old Kathleen King, also known as Kate, was discovered on the Union Pacific Railroad tracks in Geneva, Illinois. Kate was a dedicated mother of 3 young sons and a social worker who had recently returned from military training with the Army Reserve. A Metra train conductor spotted her lying across the tracks in the 200 block of Briar Lane, just a few blocks from the family home on Oak Street. Following the discovery, the investigation quickly turned toward her husband, Shadwick King. He willingly sat down with detectives and spent the next couple of hours doing what he came prepared to do, playing the perfect grieving husband. What he didn't know was that the investigators sitting across from him had already found something his story couldn't explain.
Mr. King? Move the packet back. Hey, Gene, Police Department, how you doing? Good. Sorry to have to meet you like this. Okay. I got some things I got to go get. I didn't want to leave you sitting in here. Okay. I gotta go get some paperwork off my desk, and I'm gonna come back and we'll talk some more, okay? I kind of fill you in on what's going on, all right? All right. Kind of walk me through the morning. What last time you saw her? Let's start with last night. Okay. What'd you guys do last night?
We went to barbecue at her dad's house, and her sister and soon-to-be brother-in-law were there. And we stayed there. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it was 10 to 11, something like that. And then we drove home, which from
10 to 11, you mean 10 to 11?
We left her dad's house.
At 11 p.m.?
Somewhere 10, probably in the middle, like 10:30.
Okay.
And then we drove back here, and we decided we would go down to the bar, on the Tam bar, and have a couple drinks.
Did you leave the kids with their father?
Yes.
Okay. So the boys stayed there, and then you guys decided to come back to Geneva?
We came back to Geneva, and then tomorrow we were going to drive in, or she was going to drive into her grandma's and meet her family there, and I was going to go to her grandma's sick, so she's wanting to go visit. I was wanting to go visit her this afternoon, and then we were at the bar, and I know we stayed there till it closed.
What time did you get there?
It had to be around midnight.
So you got to the damn bar around midnight?
It's something like that.
Okay, so, because Elk Grove's, about a half hour, 45 minutes?
Probably, yeah, exactly. And like I said, if we left it at 10:30, 11, it was before midnight, but okay, sometime in there, I don't know. And we stayed there, and then my neighbor, and I don't even know his name, was there. So we ended up staying there, talking to him, and then he couldn't walk to the bar, so we gave him a ride home.
What time did you guys leave?
I know at bar time, so I guess they close at 2, so it must have been 1:45.
Okay.
And then we went home, and we've been having, we're kind of separated, but not in a bad way. I don't know how that sounds.
What do you mean that you guys have been having some? You're separated, but not really.
Well, I mean, we have a house. Of course, everybody's underwater. We have 3 kids. She's been seeing somebody else because she just got out of basic training up in the Army. And then she went to Texas for 6 weeks to do more training.
Okay.
And she had met somebody. And I don't know. I know they had went like 3 weeks ago. They went to a Cubs game and together. And we talked about it. And it was like, you got to make a decision.
Kathleen had left for basic military training at Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri on February 7th, 2014. Following basic training, she immediately went to Texas for her specialized job training and returned home on June 14th, just 3 weeks before her death. Without being asked, Shadwick casually brought up the state of their marriage, revealing that Kate had met a 22-year-old man during military training.
How did you find out about that? Did she tell you, or did you, find some messages on the phone?
Text messages, and plus she Facebook. She's on my Facebook and everything, and I knew that she had went. I knew he was in town because he had Facebooked that he was in the Cubs game.
What was the issue that she saw, or the problems that were causing her to?
I don't know.
I mean, was it a time thing? Was it a, somebody's drinking too much? Was it, financial? I mean,
we believe don't drink that much, and especially since she's joined the Army. Either one of us. I mean, maybe once a week we'll get a 6-pack or something. Not a lot.
You don't know what the underlying issues were that were causing the problems? I mean,
no. Like I said, our anniversary was May 29th, and she Facebooked me, I love you, or my husband's anniversary, my best friend, my husband, that was on May 29th. And then at some point after that, she, she could call, but she stopped calling. So I knew, like I said, it's just one of those things that happens. I told her, well, I wish I don't know. She said she wanted to, we could work it. She didn't want a divorce.
She did, or she did not?
She did not want a divorce.
So when you guys got home after the damn bar, what happened after that?
Oh, I was texting that guy. Yeah. And I was brushing my teeth. She was shooting the bathroom. And I looked down at the phone and I could see what she had texted him. And
What did she text me?
Just stuff that you knew was more than friends, like
Really explicit stuff?
a little bit. I miss you. Stuff. It wasn't it wasn't explosively.
You could read between the lines. You knew what it meant.
Yeah, but I mean, like I said, I had already known it, so it didn't. Like I said, I knew it. I knew it 3 or 4 weeks ago, and she had not really lied about it, but I think it was a little dishonest about how far they had, or how much they were in a relationship, and I didn't, like I said, I didn't know if it was just a Facebook thing you hear about. But then I knew the Cubs game, he came, and I don't think he lives around here. I don't know.
So the Cubs thing and then the text messages kind of
Yeah.
help solidify that
Right.
your mind that
Right.
this is more than just a couple of pals. And
I think so. I mean, I could be, I don't know. She said that she said they had a relationship, but it was definitely not. One was a very honest person, so
did you believe her?
sorta. Like I say, I knew things weren't great. I knew I had told my future brother-in-law three a couple of weeks ago. Him and her sister's getting married, and I told him, I said, you know, if I don't make it to your wedding, you know, I want you guys to know I'm happy for you. And
Fiance?
yeah, I said, I want you to know I'm real happy for you, you know, and everything. And I wish you the best. And talked to him and told him, I think I kind of let him know that he kind of knew. I think he kind of knew. I think her sister knows because she went to the game with, so they knew. And, so I looked at the text, and then,
Did she let you look at the text, or did you just pick up the
I
phone?
picked up the phone.
Did she try to
No.
keep you from looking, or
No.
so she didn't do
She
anything?
didn't pay attention. Like I said, she didn't even really pay attention. So I looked at the text, and then I read it. Like I say, it wasn't super explicit, but it was enough, you know. So that I texted the guy, leave my wife alone or something, you know. That was about it. And then
Did he reply back to you?
I texted him, like I said, you know, leave my wife alone.
In the 16 days leading up to her death, Kate and this man had exchanged nearly 3,500 text messages. Hours before she was killed, she sent him a message asking, "Will you marry me?" This discovery could have put Shadwick's emotion to the roof. But when detectives sat him down just hours later, Shadwick played the role of the understanding, supportive husband, too graciously supportive for a man who had just been cheated on.
Are you working right now?
I took a leave of absence from my job when she joined 4 months ago.
Okay.
Because with 3 kids.
So you put your career on hold so she could go do her thing, and you could be kind of Mr. Mom?
Mr. Mom for 4 months. I do insurance claims for corporate and international moves. And I just, I took a leave of absence, and then she didn't really want me to go back because of with what daycare costs. It's like with daycare and the after school program's expensive. It's like $500 a week daycare. So she didn't even want me to go back to work because we had stayed up and talked
About these issues?
No, not about these issues. About what she was wanting to do. It was the officer school, and sending out her resumes and her new car.
To try to get a game plan together, in other words? Basically trying to figure out what's the next move?
Right, the next move for us. Because, I mean, she even talked about getting, you know, even moving. Like, we always talk about moving to Georgia. So,
Where would officer school have been?
Fort Benning, Georgia?
no, I don't know. I don't know where the officer school was. It could have been back in Texas, or it could have been Fort Leonard Wood in Missouri. Something like that. But we weren't, like I say, we discussed moving to Georgia, but it would definitely been after the officer school.
Mm-hmm. And what would have that allowed her to do? What would she have done with that? What's kind of like the game plan? I'm not a military person. So
You know, I think it just, she thought it would look really good on a resume.
So how'd you guys leave the conversation? You guys had the discussion about it, and then what?
Well, like I said, it was probably close to, and I don't know for sure, but it was probably pretty close to, I mean, the sun was coming up, definitely. So it was 5 a.m. or so. And, we, something like that, 5. And, we were sitting there talking, and, we both were drinking Gatorade, try and hydrate.
Did you guys drink a lot at the bar?
No, but I mean, she can't drink very much because, I mean, she hasn't drank in 4 months. So,
They don't let you drink in the military. They tend to frown upon that.
yeah, well, she said they let the Air Force. I don't know what that means. So they let the Air Force.
You're trying to hydrate.
Yeah, and we're talking, and then, when we got home, I we have a dog that's mostly an inside dog, but she has to run outside. So when we got home, I let the dog in. That's when we got home from the bar, because we didn't go home before we went. So I let the dog in, and then it was, I don't know, the sun was up, and then I let I took her back out so she could use the bathroom, because she's used to using the bathroom first thing in the morning. And then, like I said, after the text thing, everything was, pretty good. And then she's an avid runner, and I've actually been running with her a little too. I can't keep up with her, but she loves to run, so she said, I'm going to go for a run. But and I don't know if it had to be between 6 and 7, I guess, something like that.
Shadwick is now carefully establishing his story of the events leading up to Kate's disappearance. But the timeline he's painting is frankly absurd and nonsense. This is a woman who had been awake for over 24 hours and had been drinking. And according to him, she laced up her running shoes and went out for a jog. Sure, she did.
What was she wearing when she went out for the run?
I don't know. She has, I know, I mean, I run in this, and she has actual running clothes, like she bought at the PX in the Army. So she runs in running, what they make for running,
You don't remember, though, like what she was wearing? Color shirt, color pants, cut shoes?
Well, I know her shoes, she always wore the same ones. They're black and pink.
Okay.
And running outfits, she has a few. She has, like, it's either Adidas or Nike. Like I say, running clothes. I mean, the real running clothes, not like a t-shirt. I think they're the kind that are supposed to help keep you cool or something.
Moisture wicking?
Exactly.
So where does she normally run?
She usually, there's,
You gone with her running before?
Yeah.
Does she have a set path?
pretty well. She either runs, most of the time she runs from our house, which we live on a curve, so she walks that curve and comes up to it. There's a street, and then she runs that way. I hate to sound like this, but she runs, there's like a walk, and then it goes under the road there and goes down by the water treatment plant.
Okay.
And that's because she knows she did the measurements or GPS'd it, so it was 1.5 miles to the river and then 1.5 miles back. And she liked to run that. Sometimes she would run it at dark too. Sometimes she would go down to the park, but she didn't really she would if she only wanted to run for a mile, because she didn't like running in a circle. She said she didn't like running in a circle as much, because in the military it's pretty well point A to point B, and she preferred the point A to point D. Plus she knew the mileage.
While talking about these important details, Shadwick never makes eye contact with the detectives. This guy just keeps talking at the door. For most, that would read as guilt. But honestly, it is not his eyes that are concerning. It's his encouraging husband image that would probably make you cringe.
I think she definitely wanted to go to officer school, and I backed her. I told her, you should. I think it's a great idea. I think it'll benefit your career and everything. And so she was, kind of excited about that. I mean, she kept saying she's a very good runner, but she said she's still got to get her. That's why she loved running, but she had to get her run time, because in officer school you got to run, I don't know, 5 miles or 5 or 6 miles in under like 35 minutes. It's a really fast time. And she said that she needed to get her time up for that, definitely.
So she was in shape. She pretty tough after the military too.
Oh yeah, she was very strong, very fast.
Okay. So when you guys are talking about this whole officer school thing and you're encouraging her to do this, and this message kind of comes into her phone and you're kind of reading between
This, even through all that, I still told her I think it'd be, you know, whatever is going to happen between us, I think you still should go to officer school. I think it would be great for your career. And she didn't really love her job. She didn't mind it. She liked the people she worked with. I know she said she liked the people she worked with. So
Okay, so then she goes up for a run, and then what do you do?
I went to, at maybe 7:30 or 8 o'clock, I went to Jewel and bought a half a dozen donuts.
What did one of St. Charles? On Prairie there? Or the one in Batavia?
No, the one on 64 and Dunham.
Oh, okay.
I drove to that one.
Okay. So you get some donuts?
It's just a lot of times on Sunday, it's just a habit. Sundays, I kind of go get a donut for everybody.
Nothing wrong with that. So you got some donuts, and then what else did you get?
I stopped and got gas too.
Where'd you stop and get?
It's right by the house, a Shell station there.
Oh, Kirk and 38 there?
Yeah.
So the one in Geneva? Okay. So you got some gas, and then
Then went to the Jewel.
you got gas first, and then
Yeah,
Outsmart.
first, and went to the Jewel. Then I came home
what time did you get home? You remember?
8:30.
Now you would probably think Shadwick had a memory of a genius. I mean, recalling your morning activities with such extreme precision, providing a minute-by-minute account of errands, is actually impressive. For a grieving husband, Shadwick King remembered an awful lot, almost like he knew someone was going to ask.
Okay. So you think she was out maybe clearing her mind based on kind of the conversations and whatnot that...
I don't know. Maybe she seemed in a good mood. I mean, like I said, she liked her running, but I didn't really think much of it. But I wanted to go get my kids.
Okay,
So I maybe again maybe 9 o'clock I left to go get the kids.
Okay. Up in Elk Grove Village?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then when I got there, they weren't there. So then I drove.
What time did you get there? Do you remember what time you arrived in Elk Grove?
It had to be 9:30, 9:45.
That you got there?
Okay. Something like that. Because then I drove into her grandma's. Because they were going to, her dad going to go in there because her grandma's sick. And so I drove in there, and they weren't there either.
So when they weren't there, you thought Grandma's is the next best place to go?
Well, yeah, because they had talked about going there. Okay. And I didn't have her dad's phone number.
The Kings had 3 sons, who were ages 10, 5, and 2. The 3 boys were staying overnight at the home of Kathleen's father and stepmother in Elk Grove Village, about 30 to 40 minutes away from Geneva. In an attempt to pick up the boys on the morning of July 6th, Shadwick used this trip as part of his morning timeline.
About how long does it take to get from one to the other? Half hour?
Maybe. Yeah.
Okay. So it's a half hour there to Grandma's house, no luck, and then you decide to go where?
I went back to her dad's house.
Okay.
I drove back by there because I would be going through there to go home anyway. And I thought, well, if they're not there, well, she can pick them up this afternoon because she was wanting to go in and see her grandma anyway. But it's Sunday. It's kind of the day I like to do things with my kids, you know.
So you've been kind of stay-at-home dad?
A little bit, yeah, for 4 months. I mean, before that, I worked full time a lot, probably more than 4 years now.
How difficult's that been for you?
It wasn't difficult. It wasn't always easy, but I would say it's difficult. And we gave us a chance to get a lot closer. But I wouldn't say it was hard. I wouldn't say, I tell you, I have a lot of respect for single parents raising kids.
Toughest job in the world.
It isn't easy, but I mean, it certainly wasn't something I regretted or thought was horrible.
Were you a little bit nervous about her completing that and moving on with that other guy? I mean,
right.
You know,
She would never leave her kids. But we had discussed, it at points we had discussed if she moved, or if I'd made the joke, if you move without me, which was kind of not a joke, but halfway a joke, that, I wanted the kids for the summer. And because, I didn't want to hold her back. If she got some great job in Georgia or something, I wasn't going to hold her back. And because I know you can't, I think it's difficult to take your kids over the state lines. If you know what I mean. I'm not positive how it all works, but I know it's not easy. But I'd already said if that happens, that I want to have them for the entire summer, and then we'll work out what to do on the holidays. So I mean, there was.
What did she say to that? I mean, sometimes kind of like the time that most people want their kids. That's when all the fun stuff is.
She just kind of laughed at it.
Laugh, joking, yeah, right.
Yeah.
Nice try.
Yeah.
Shoot for the moon, but.
Well, no, I don't mean that. I mean, like I said, we're not getting divorced. You're not, we're not going to do that. And I said, well, I don't want to. I go, but if you're having a relationship with somebody else, you got to work it out. And I said, I know you're a realist too, so let's see what we need to do here.
Has she ever done anything like that before in the past in terms of stepping out of the marriage?
I don't think so. She's very loyal to everybody. Then she would have.
Except you, right?
I don't know. No, I think she was very loyal to me. I don't know what happened.
What do you think made her kind of change her?
I don't know. I think maybe, I don't know. Maybe somebody made her laugh. Maybe, I don't know. I really don't. I don't. And like I say, I don't know what their relationship was. I really don't. But I knew she had, I knew it wasn't totally honest.
You guys had any issues in the past? Have you guys ever gotten to see any kind of counselors or anything like that? I mean, in terms of your marriage, it's been up until, you found out about this. I mean, are we talking awesome marriage, no problems at all, or
very
other?
Very, very good marriage. Very good. Very good.
Get along with her family.
Go for family, great.
She along with your family.
She loved my family. We go down there every year camping.
Despite how hard the detectives are pressing to crack more out of him, Shadwick is made of stone. He is carefully handling the image of the understanding, devoted husband and father, like his life depends on it. The question is, how much longer can he keep it from shattering?
Can I be straight with you, though? I mean, there's no yelling, getting into an argument, being upset about something is a natural thing, okay? I mean, if I was to tell you think me and my wife don't have arguments and there's raised voices, and if somebody was walking by and heard it, of course.
But what are you going to argue about when you've seen your wife texting somebody and may or may not be in a relationship with? What are you going to fight about?
Well,
I mean, obviously it happened.
If it was me, I'd say what? I'd be very upset because you took a leave, okay, to watch 3 kids, okay? About 10 times more work to do on a daily basis than I do, okay? And you know what? When I have my kids by myself, the best time in the world is when my wife comes home, because you know what? I can take a break because there's no downtime. There's no downtime with kids at all. you know? So, you know, I'm listening to you and I'm watching what you're doing, and you're kind of like, it's no big deal. But you know what? It is a big deal. Okay.
You guess
I mean, there's no,
depends on how you look at it.
you get no word for being like, I mean, it's okay to say, you know,
I
it's okay
know.
to say, you know what? It's a struggle.
I know it. Well, it's sure everyday life is a struggle, but I mean, like I said, what am I gonna do? I mean, obviously they're there. Obviously, I told her, well, you got to make a decision, because it's time. If you're moving on, if I'm moving on, it is. There's nothing I can do about it. Nothing I can do. I mean,
but that's a helpless feeling to know that the most important things in your life you have no control over. That's a very helpless feeling.
she would never keep the kids from me or anything like that. So, I know she wouldn't.
I mean, you sold yourself to the fact, I think, that there's nothing you can do about it. She's emotionally moved on. Have you moved on? Have you found somebody else?
No, absolutely. I haven't found anybody else. Absolutely not.
You look?
No.
But have you
Never.
moved on and said, you know what? She's not in this, I'm not in this.
Yeah.
Emotionally checked out. In other words, you know what?
I wanted. I love her. I always will. I always wanted the best for her, and I told her, no matter what, I still back your career. I'll still do whatever I can to help you. I mean, she's my best friend, so I still consider her. I don't know what happened. I don't know what went down. I told her that I was going to make an effort to get her back, and
So you said you're going to put forth more effort to basically show her that she needs to
more effort, that I just wasn't going to give up, or I wasn't going to walk away.
At the beginning of the interview, he presented himself as the bigger person, ready to calmly walk away. This made him look like a rational, non-violent husband who had already processed the betrayal and moved on to planning a peaceful divorce. However, his tone shifted from being willing to let her go to expressing a deep desire to get her back and fix the marriage. This wasn't just a change of heart, it was evidence of inner turmoil that he could no longer seem to hide.
I can see how it'd be difficult though too, that you're putting forth your best effort, and you're basically spinning your tires. Because you get some other guy that's basically, she's obviously interested in speaking with and communicating with, and you're doing all these things to basically show her that, hey, I'm the guy for you. I got 10 years invested. We got 3 kids, ups and downs. I'm here. I'm your rock. This guy's a flavor of the month type thing. And, asking her to choose. I mean, I think the choice would be pretty obvious.
I think we always both said that if that 15 minutes is worth your marriage, then it's not right, I guess. So I wasn't perfect, I know that, but like I said,
what do you think wasn't perfect that would if she's a nice, normal, rational person, what would cause her to kind of go down that path?
I don't know. I guess throughout life, maybe you're attracted to other people, or other people, I don't know. It happened in my first marriage.
What would happen in your first marriage?
I came home and my wife was with someone else. It wasn't text messages back then.
Wow.
So, but there again, you make the decision. What do I do? Well, I grabbed the clothes I had and left with what was on my back.
Before Kate, Shadwick claimed that a former partner, with whom he had a child, had also cheated on him, a detail he used to explain his supposedly calm reaction to Kate's affair. By presenting himself as a seasoned veteran of heartbreak who knew how to handle betrayal rationally, he hoped to convince investigators that he was too emotionally detached to ever act out of rage.
Oh, I was just kind of thinking, I kind of wish I had your attitude about a lot of this stuff, because I must let things get to me quite a bit, because you got a lot going on in your life, and you seem pretty okay with it. You know, you've been rolling out of
It's okay. It hurts. Believe me, I've had sleepless nights worrying about what's going on. Absolutely, but there's not much you can do about it. There really isn't. I don't know what. You can get mad about it, but what's that going to do? Like I said, I went through my first marriage. Mad doesn't help do anything.
Yeah,
I'm not a kid anymore. I guess you pick your battles, or you just.
I wouldn't think of you as a yeller if you hadn't told me that.
My kids spend the day with them.
That's what I mean. 3 kids and all that work and you got to yell, you got to discipline, and it's from the time they wake up, which is probably 6:30, 7 o'clock, to the time they all go to bed, which is probably 8 o'clock maybe, if you're lucky.
Yeah.
And then you get a little bit of time to yourself, and by that time you're so damn tired that you're passing out asleep. I mean, that's a full day's work. So you're basically working, 16 hours a day, essentially, and then sleeping for 8, it's constant. I mean, that's a tough job. It's a tough job. You need a partner. I need somebody.
Maybe. I don't know if that's a tough job. People do it every day. A neighbor lady's got 6 kids, and she does it every day and works.
Exactly. And here you are going, well, I got these 3 kids. We're married. I'm sitting here every day dealing with these kids, trying to raise them so they're productive members of society. I'm trying to put food on the table. I'm making breakfast. I'm making lunch. I'm making dinner. I'm reading stories at night. I'm helping out with homework. I'm doing all this stuff. I took time off of my job, put my career on hold so that you could enjoy, what I thought was a good move for you. And then you come home and you slap me in the face with a disrespectful, text messages and relationship with another man, and you want me to think that's just like water off a duck's ass? No way.
I wouldn't.
No way.
I wouldn't change it again, no matter if I knew what the outcome was going to be. Because if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Doesn't if it could have been 5 years. Who knows? I don't know. But like I said, I wouldn't change anything. I still wanted her to go to officer school.
Did you sleep at all last night?
Maybe an hour.
Really, an hour?
Yeah.
From when to when do you think?
5 to 6, if that. Because at 5, I think, is when when they brought to the 5 to 6, because she went running at 6 to 7. So
Okay.
yeah, not a lot.
And I think that's about it. I just kind of taking notes here again. There's a lot of information we're trying to get together, and to talk to family and friends and figure out exactly what's going on and taking kind of the last account of events that you had with her, I think, because you were the last one, to be with her and to talk to her. I mean, you kind of have the best time frame so far for us for tracing our steps back, which is kind of what we're doing here.
At this point, the detectives decide to take a break and split the session to evaluate Shadwick's consistency and cross-reference his peaceful story with the emerging evidence from the crime scene. Leaving a suspect alone in the room is also part of the tactic. It allows the person to sit with their own lies, often leading them to overthink, which can cause them to inadvertently change or add vivid details to their story. When the detectives return, they will try again to subtly poke holes in his calm veteran persona.
What'd your dad have to say when you talked to him?
I just told him, you need to find out what has happened, and you need to get your kids and figure it out. I told him, I said, there's nothing. I go, I'm not hiding anything. I don't, because he said, well, you could, get a lawyer. I'm like, well, I don't need a lawyer. I didn't do any. I still don't know what's going on. I go, they won't tell me anything.
Well, that's kind of funny that he would say that.
I don't think
a
so.
Lawyer. I mean,
Get a lawyer.
Does your dad not trust the police, or is he? You haven't been arrested, have you?
Me, no.
Clean criminal history, right?
Oh yeah. maybe traffic,
Oh.
but no,
I got tripped.
not even a DUI. Nothing. I've never been arrested.
Well, see, that's a good thing, you know. The past behavior is usually a good predictor of future behavior. You know, that's what we say. You see somebody that's been arrested umpteen times, you know, usually that's a good indicator they're going to keep doing the same thing they've been doing, right? So, you've never been arrested yet?
Kate's never been arrested either.
Well, that's good. You probably wouldn't be able to
Pretty
get the military, right?
law-abiding citizens.
Well, you know, when I was talking to some of the other people, they mentioned that there was some game that was being played at the damn bar where Kate was showing.
Oh,
moves.
she might have showed her muscles or something because she's pretty chiseled.
No, not her muscles, but like kind of a move, like a move that she learned with like kind of.
At the bar?
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember that, but I know the move you're talking about.
What move? What move is that?
If you have a collared shirt, and I don't know how, but
Here, I'm not. Show me what move, because I don't know any of these.
I don't know it either.
Well, it'd be very difficult for you to explain it. So if you're Kate and I'm you.
Okay. You grab the collar,
Okay.
and then
And you twist the collar.
yeah, there's and some way in the military they teach you to cross your hands, and you either, I guess, you pull out. Is how you do it.
I've never.
I don't know. I've never done it. The only thing I told her is I remember my buddy showed me when, like, if somebody's coming at you with a knife, that you're supposed to take your hands and clamp them together on their wrist and they'll drop it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's true. Maybe.
Well, thanks for not ruining my collar. I appreciate that. No, it's the same kind of stuff they teach us, you know. But I'd never seen that move with the collar. It must be an old military.
But I know she said you have to have a collared shirt for it to work, like a stiffer collared shirt.
Who was she showing that to? Like, who was she?
She showed that to everybody.
Showed it to everybody at the bar?
I don't know about the bar, but she showed
She
her
showed it to
family
everybody?
and
Oh, okay. So
me and
previously? Okay.
I don't remember her doing it at the bar.
Okay.
This choke move is probably one of the most chilling details of the night, as it suggests the peaceful evening Shadwick described was actually charged with underlying tension and physical demonstration. However, Shadwick claimed he had no memory of this happening at the bar, which is highly unlikely given the specific and memorable nature of the demonstration. This selective memory will make you wonder what else Shadwick has conveniently forgotten.
And she didn't have a running partner at all, other than you on occasion.
Me on occasion, and I couldn't.
Nobody in the neighborhood that she would kind of scoop up.
That I know of. No, I think she liked to run, and there's nobody I know of. Like I said, there's nobody I know in our neighborhood that could run with her.
Right.
I mean, I could keep up with her if she was running. If she was doing her 8-minute mile, I couldn't keep up with her because I can run about a 10-minute, and that's pushing it for me. I mean, my knees are creaky, but she could run, and she really likes sprinting, and she really kind of got addicted to running.
Well, what kind of strikes me as odd is that you guys had this conversation. First go out of the bar. You guys get home about, what'd you say, 1:30 or so?
Well, we left at last call, which is 1:45.
Okay, so you home about 2.
Maybe,
at the
probably
latest.
before, but yeah.
You get home about 2. You're doing your nightly routine, brushing your teeth, using the bathroom. You find out that she's been texting, then you have this long conversation.
Well, that happened quite a bit later in the evening, too, though.
Okay.
That didn't happen when we got home. We just kind of talked, and then it was a little later, and that's when, like I say, I was brushing my teeth. She was using the. Well, that's the kind of relationship we had. I'm brushing my teeth, and she's using the bathroom, and texting, you know, and like I say, she had a few glasses of wine, so maybe she wasn't thinking about what I'm doing. I don't know.
Shadwick is now actively rewriting his timeline in real time. Earlier, he described discovering the texts after they came home from the bar. However, after the break, he did a complete 180 on the timing. In doing so, he appeared to be trying to shrink the window of conflict.
So she goes out running. You said she left at what, about 6:30 or so?
Yeah, around 6:30.
So then you slept for about an hour from about 6 to 7.
No, probably from 5 to 6 or so, something.
5 to 6. So you're up when she left.
Yeah, I was up.
And she didn't sleep at all with you? She wasn't.
She lay down in bed with me. Yeah.
You don't think she slept, or you not know?
I don't know. I know I definitely dozed off for a little bit.
Okay, and then you wake up when she left to go running?
Well, we both woke up, and she was up. She was up for a little bit, and then like 20 minutes, half hour later, she went running.
All right, so then she went running. So then you're milling about the house. You let the dog out at some point, you said, as well.
Yeah.
And then you decided at about 8:30.
No, about 7:30. I got gas and then went to Jewel, something like.
So then got back.
Late. Yeah, and then
About
got back.
8:30.
Right, and then. And when I don't know what time I left to go pick up the kids. I think I said 9:30, but I do remember when I got in my car, I said hi to the neighbors as they were going to church, and I don't know what time. It might have been 9, but
What neighbors were that?
they're on the other side of our house, and it looked like they were going to church.
All right.
How are you able to read her text messages on her phone?
When she's texting,
Uh-huh.
and then, as you can see, you leave it open.
So she left it open?
Yeah, you got to push your little button, then it's locked.
So when she had it open and she's doing that,
She set it down on the sink.
so she's going to the bathroom and then sets it down in the sink,
Okay.
and then you grab the phone to take a look at
I
it.
look at it.
Okay, so you grab
And
the
I
phone,
see
you take a
the
look
text.
at it, and then what does she do? I would imagine, like any normal human being, she
Well,
takes her phone and starts looking through
I
it.
think the first thing she didn't really say anything. She didn't really say anything. I just looked at the text, and then I went in the living room, or actually I went out on the front porch
With her phone,
with her phone.
and she's just letting you.
She doesn't do anything. I think at that point it was just, well, what it is, and I wasn't. And then I was out there for maybe, I don't know how, not too long, and I brought the phone back in, and
Do you have the text message that you sent? Or actually, that was on her phone, right? Do you have any text messages from your phone to this other guy? Do you have his number? I would imagine that it would be on her phone. Did you jot down his number? No? So you could call him, or...
no, like I said, I texted him, leave my wife alone, and some other things, I'm sure too,
Well, other things being what?
Because we talked
I'm going to bed with my wife right now, stuff like that.
While he was telling detectives he was ready to let her go, his actual responses to the boyfriend were actually territorial and desperate. Investigators would later find out that he went beyond just responding, "Leave my wife alone." As himself, he sent texts as Kate, telling the boyfriend they were having sex. These actions showed a man in a jealous frenzy, obsessively trying to blow up Kate's new relationship before she could actually leave him. The fact that he was doing this while claiming they were having a heart-to-heart talk made his entire interview look like a performance. But he isn't done yet.
What do you think happened to Kate?
I think she was jogging, possibly a car. But where she jogs, I don't see how that's possible. But the fact that I'm here tells me that it's probably something maybe worse than that. And I don't want to think about that. So I don't have a clue. I want to know, but
If you want to know, you're going to have to hear kind of some hard details. And I don't know if that's something you're prepared to hear or not, or... I mean, this is the worst part of our job, is to sit here to talk to you about this. But again, we got to rule out all the possibilities, and quite honestly, the circumstances that she was found, it doesn't seem plausible that she got struck by a car. So the fact that, she was found deceased.
that's true at any time.
Let me ask you this, Mr. King. Do you think good people could do outrageous things sometimes?
No, I think evil is evil.
But do you think you can be a good person and make a mistake?
Absolutely. It depends on what the mistake is.
Because Kate is basically a living example of that, right?
What, is she a good person? What mistake did she make?
Well, in terms of the other guy.
You know what? I tell you what, a relationship with some other guy right now seems pretty fucking trivial to me. You know?
Was there any type of incident that happened at the house at all between you guys?
No.
Any kind of accident?
You can go in my house and look. There's
Any
nothing.
kind of accident, anything like that?
No, nothing.
Or she might have fallen, or you guys are after the bar, had a little bit too much to drink, and one of those things where somebody falls and gets injured, and it's kind of one of those oh shit moments. What do I do?
Nope. 100% no.
So nothing like that at all.
No. Not at all.
Because, you know, it's understood that you guys had some very significant differences, you know, all the way up and just before she died. And, you know, the reasonable person would say, hey, you know, well, maybe it's something between those two. Maybe something happened and it just got out of control. And,
But it didn't.
you know, nobody ever meant for anything to happen. And no one ever does. It's one of those things where you know.
Absolutely. Positively.
You know. And,
Did not happen. I would never lay a hand on her and have never laid a hand on her.
No,
not one time.
well, and we don't want you to feel responsible for her death if you're not responsible. But if you are responsible, now's here the time to tell us.
I am 100% not responsible, and I would never remotely hurt that woman. Never. I've never pushed her. I've never slapped her. I've never laid a hand on her. In my 12 years with her, I have never done anything remotely physical to her. I have never, it's never happened. Not one time, never, 100% no. Has she? Not really. She's slapped my shoulder or something. She's not physical. There's no physical. There's nothing. I wouldn't hurt that woman. I would not, and I know what it looks like. She's seeing some other guy. Fine. Go be with another guy. I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not going to fly off the handle, push, hit, ball bat, and I don't mean to, I'm not trying to incriminate myself. I would never lay a hand on her. I would never, ever, and have never in my life put a finger on that woman. I wouldn't, and I know she's kind of seeing some other guy. Still, that does not give me a right to ever do something like that. I wouldn't do it. The only way I'd ever lay a finger on anybody is if it was protect my family. I'd never, ever lay a hand on anyone. I wouldn't.
Do you feel like your family was in jeopardy with the introduction?
Yeah, with my kids. Kate would have never kept those kids from me. She knows I love them. I know she loves them. I would have never kept the kids from her. There was no squabble about the kids, other than I wanted them for the summer if she moved out of state. I didn't even have a problem if she moved out of state. If she got a better job, wanted to move out of state, that's her right. I don't have I have a right to say, I want to go with you. I want to be with you. But if she says, you know what, I've changed, I deal with it, and I deal with it myself. I don't, that's all it's like I said, the kids were the most important thing in the world to me. I wouldn't take them. Their mom loved them boys. And the boys are never going to be the same with her. And I would never. And had never.
Well, we understand this is definitely a big loss, but again, the question remains, how did she pass? And that's a big question for us that we need to answer, because, like I said, the
I want to answer too.
Around it appear that she wasn't struck by a car. The accidental nature that we normally see in deaths like this isn't all that apparent.
At the time of this interview, detectives did not yet have the final autopsy results, but they had already identified strong circumstantial evidence suggesting foul play, and that Kate's morning run was a fabrication. Although it had rained, Kate's shoes were too pristine, her electronics were too perfectly positioned for someone who fell, and missing essential running gear directly contradicted any accidental fall narrative. The moment detectives confronted Shadwick with the possibility of foul play in Kate's death, he quickly abandoned his initial calm demeanor. His reaction was a mix of intense emotional distress and immediate defensive denial. This sudden shift into high emotion was a potential manipulation tactic, and detectives noticed.
Why did you give us a call?
My wife went jogging and she's been gone for 2 hours.
People call us when their dog is missing. People call us when, stranger things have happened.
Like I said, to me, I went on bike rides for 2 hours. If she runs down to the river and walks the river path for 2 hours, well, I guess I never thought of, she's gone for 2 hours, I should call the
But then you were going to go pick up the kids. Yeah. Okay.
Because I wanted to be with my kids.
Okay. So obviously, don't you think she wants to be with the kids too, and she wants to go pick them up? It's her father's house that the kids are at, right?
I don't know.
It's her grandmother that's the one that's, in ill health, right, things like that. Right. So she would have wanted to come with to go pick up those kids and to see grandma and to do all that stuff. She could do all that when I got back. I wanted to spend the day with my kids. What is that?
And I don't know what her plans for the day was. She was maybe going to run into her grandma's.
You guys have the one working car?
Yes.
Okay. So does it seem plausible that you'd go up there and get the kids and leave her? Would she be included? Why would you take 2 trips? Why would you go up there? And I guess that's what I'm trying to understand. Maybe you can help me understand.
And just wanted to be with my kids.
Shadwick began to crack. Kate was the one who had arranged to pick up the boys from her father's house that morning, but he went alone. He has no solid explanation for why he hadn't waited for her to return so they could go together. It is painfully obvious how he is trying to establish an alibi and create distance between himself and the crime scene. And this cover-up is about to get worse.
How'd you get the lip here?
Dry lip?
No, it's not a dry lip. It's a fat lip.
No, it's not.
You got a mark right here on your lip.
I'm telling you, it's not a fat lip.
You always have that?
I don't know. I must, because I don't know what you're even talking about.
Let me get a mirror so you can see.
If you want. I don't know.
Are you okay? You need anything, ice or anything for it?
No, I'm good. I've been here for 4 hours, and you guys are now noticing my lip that I don't see. Okay.
Well, again, we're putting pieces together. And due to the circumstances that we found here, it doesn't seem plausible that it was accidental. Again, you're the last person that saw her. Hence our questioning of what your relationship was like and what your demeanor was in the morning. Because you told us yourself, you argued. And
we talked. I don't think we argued. We talked about it.
Well, earlier you told me you argued with one another. I think you even told the other officers when you were picked up this morning at your in-laws that you were arguing with one another.
Well, if arguing and talking are the same thing, I guess. We talked about it.
It's not illegal to argue, but
it is. But it doesn't. You're making it sound like we were yelling at each other or something, and that's not the case. Absolutely not yelling at each other.
Had a disagreement. If you agreed with everything,
absolutely not. Do I have a disagreement? I'm sure I do. I am right now, because you guys are starting to really accuse me of this, and I get it. I know you want to know. I want to know, but you got to see my end. I'm looking at it as this is the mother of my children. I'm not. Well, there's no one that would hurt the mother of their children. Nobody's sane.
Mr. King, you're getting all...
I am. Because you guys are accusing me. You're telling me I got a flat lip. I don't.
You got a mark on your lip. I'm asking you how you got the mark on your lip. And you're getting defensive, okay? Why are you getting defensive? Because I'm asking you.
Defensive, I'm telling you. If there's a mark there, I don't know anything about it.
A physical injury is a hard fact that a suspect has to explain away. Forensic evidence would later reveal that Kate died of manual strangulation, not a fall, internal hemorrhaging in the eyes, throat, and tongue, along with defensive bruising, suggesting she fought back, which makes the fresh mark on Shadwick's face that much harder to ignore.
We just want to make it documented, knowing that you don't have any big cuts or bruises or knife wounds or anything ridiculous like that.
How tall are you?
6'4".
6'4". Dude,
Maybe.
yeah. Measurement stopped at 6 foot for me. You want me to go get the other one, or
That was use this. It's
broken?
fine. Yeah, if you could stand up for me. Now let the blood get back to your legs there.
Here, I tell you what, I'll move this chair out of the way. How about now?
All right. If you want to put your phone in your pocket, that's fine. And because you're so tall, I gotta get your feet too. All right. If you could just hold the tops of your hands out for me. Take it up close. You can flip them over. And a close-up of your face if I can. If you could look just straight ahead. Actually, kind of a shadow. Can you move like half step down? Thanks. All right, and if you could turn around and just face the wall, I'm going to show the back of you.
Well, I gotta put a sign on your back.
Get your legs in here real quick.
You play basketball at all?
I did, yeah.
I'd imagine. All right, if you want to turn it back around.
And get the sneakers. Can you just do one of these?
You on the bottom?
Yeah, we'll get the tops and bottom. Probably size 13s.
14, I think.
And call those skis where I'm from.
Yeah. All right.
Well, why don't we get you home? Let you get cleaned up. All right.
Following the first interview on July 6, 2014, detectives allowed Shadwick to leave the station and return to his children, but they immediately began working to dismantle his story. Shadwick was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder after the coroner confirmed Kathleen died of manual asphyxiation. In 2015, he was found guilty of first-degree murder. Shadwick King is currently serving a 30-year prison sentence at Menard Correctional Center, scheduled for parole on May 20th, 2044. Kate was 32 years old. She left behind 3 sons and a whole family who loved her and will forever feel the weight of her absence. Do you think the motive behind the murder came from jealousy? Thank you for watching today's video. Don't forget to subscribe and check out one of the craziest cases I've ever covered right here.